There have been a lot of questions about how high ADA can get here in 2025 during this market cycle, which means potentially even into 2026 if we have an extended cycle. And I want to talk about this once again because we've actually, one, we have some new people here on the channel, but two, we also have a little bit more data that may have just broadened this range a little bit, suggesting potentially higher prices for ADA. And I want to discuss all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below, hit that subscribe button, that bell, it's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So first of all, the ranges I have very consistently held for ADA in this market cycle, projection wise, have been between $7 to $15 ADA. A lot of people have thought that can't happen. We've obviously dealt with some times in terms of ADA where the market hasn't been really conducive for ADA to make moves. Remember, when retail optics are high, when retail excitement is high, that is when ADA tends to perform its best. It's like we were talking about in our video yesterday, comparing the ADA market cap to the total market cap of altcoins. It's very clear to see that when we're popping, when we're moving, that's when ADA is tending to outperform. We unfortunately have just dealt with so much time that we haven't been able to get a good scope of what ADA can do in this market cycle. But I want to remind everybody that ADA last market cycle was able to reach just over $3 with nothing going on in the ecosystem. No adoption, no smart contracts, no stable coins, period. No government adoption taking place, no enterprise interest. We have completely flipped the script here from the bear market cycle into the bull. ADA is being tested. Cardano is being tested out in a big way. We have full decentralization. We have a side chain that is launching to bring huge interoperability to the Cardano ecosystem. I mean, some of the biggest things happening in crypto right now are happening in Cardano, and that's bringing obviously a lot of optics, a lot of at least interest, not necessarily buys quite yet. But that means that the potential, frankly, has never been larger for Cardano than it has been now. Now, here's what I will say is that we're still a long ways away from the top of this market cycle, I believe. You know, our original projections were October, and it's seeming like this is going to be an extended market cycle. The thing is institutional money is diving in a big way. Governments are just now getting regulation out there. And it seems like this is where the big push is about to begin. Just to kind of show you guys, this is what crypto search traffic here in the US has looked like over the last 5 years. So we are starting to see some heightened optics now that we're obviously going through a week finished a week that has been a big dubbed crypto week. You know, we obviously introduction of legislation, some of that being signed into law, some of that advancing to other bodies of Congress. It still is nowhere close to search traffic from back in 2021. All right. So what that means is that we have huge potential for growth and capital inflows into the crypto market from here. And right now we're floating around an all-time high in terms of the total market cap of crypto. There's still so much capital sidelined in the crypto market. We haven't even begun to see where this can take us. Now, what I thought was very interesting was Dan Gambardella actually made this post yesterday. And this really made me want to do this video. And what he said is last time Cardano risk was at this level, which is a 43 at the confluence of a similar business cycle, ADA was 10 cents. Now it's 80. The upside is insane, and many are underestimating this, just like last market cycle. So here's the thing. If we have linear growth, which I don't think we will, but just bear with me. If we have linear growth from that point to the peak, from now to the peak in this market cycle, that would put ADA around $24. Again, not saying that's going to happen for sure. I think everything has to work out just right. I think we have to get some pretty big DeFi adoption to take place. I think we need major stablecoin introductions to the ecosystem. I think Midnight needs to launch and be just the next big thing in crypto. And that's where, in fact, you could see ADA try to push the top of that. And why I'm saying that's even still possible, guys, is if we take a look at our rainbow regression curve in terms of ADA, I mean, Q1 or Q2 of 2026 kind of puts ADA right around that $24 mark. That would make a whole lot of sense. Now, that would be some pretty insane growth for this market cycle, be some pretty insane growth from where we're at currently. Now, that being said, if we use law of diminishing returns, that more than likely puts ADA around $8 or so by the end of this market cycle. Not sure, again, whether that will be in 2025 or early 2026, but that's obviously still pretty significant growth from where we're at now. That's about a 10x from where we're at currently. Now, that being said, there are bearish cases in terms of ADA as well. I've seen some people say, yep, it's not even going to set a new all-time high. I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I believe ADA will set an all-time high The conditions, just again, like I talked about, haven't been right for us to see a push towards a new all-time high yet. They're getting there now, right? I've seen some people say $5. I mean, theoretically, it's possible if Cardano ecosystem adoption is about what it's at now, and we don't make any major strides there, and Midnight just doesn't have the gusto that a lot of people think that it's going to. If Bitcoin OS doesn't really take off, that could possibly be where ADA is headed. Obviously, still pretty significant growth from where we're at now. I think it's so tough because ADA is a blue chip asset, right? We're talking about a $30 billion asset now. And those are some pretty insane X's from where we're at currently. But you have to remember how much growth this market cycle still has yet to go through. Okay. We still have the projections for the cycle are still $10 to $12 trillion in terms of the global market cap of crypto, right? If ADA dominance hits, 4% dominance, I mean, you could be seeing what, $500 billion market cap. I mean, that's kind of what we've been talking about in this market cycle alone. Some people have said the dominance is going to be lower. Maybe not. We're doing a lot of things similar to what we did last market cycle. The trends are following the exact same way. And the big thing I want to point to as well is we still have this huge hoarding of supply when it comes to ADA. I think people really forget how little ADA supply is actually floating around in the crypto market. I mean, guys, this is from last market cycle to this market cycle. How many inflow weeks to exchanges do you see here? All right. And let me ask you this. How many sizable inflow weeks do you see? Very little, right? I guess you could look at this one back here in late February, which was $34 million in inflows. Didn't really matter because it was $189 million in outflows the following week. I hope people are getting the point here. You have, like I talked about earlier today, you have huge conviction in terms of ADA. You have people that have been in the ecosystem for a very long time that want to see it succeed. And I think at some point, this is going to create a pretty big supply shock for ADA. We might start getting a little jumpy in terms of price. You might see wicks around of 10, 15%. And potentially candles of even larger than that. But that's the nature of the beast. You have to remember, we're only at 5-6% of the world in crypto. It's going to look drastically different when we are at 10%, 15%, 20%. That's what we're kind of on the edge of right now. So hopefully that makes sense for people. Again, I still want to stick to my projections of $7 to $15. I don't think really anything we haven't really gotten enough data to get too far outside of those ranges yet. As we get closer to the top, again, I will talk about taking profit videos. I'll try to get some of those out next week, some things that I'm watching for, but I just want to share that with you guys. I appreciate you as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you guys have questions, but have a great day. Show your love. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.